Hello, and welcome back to another old school movie review where I talk about either old movies or new movies from the perspective of an old school fart. 34 years old, almost gonna be 35 in a few months. It's messed up. It's like half my life is almost over, man. It's messed up. Anyway, today I'm talking about a movie kind of about growing up and moving on and the friends we make in our childhood and the friends we carry on with throughout our adulthood. Anyway, the movie is St. Elmo's Fire, starring Demi Moore, Ellie Sheedy, Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, and Mare Winningham, and also Andy McDowell. A lot of great actors. This is one of the last Brat Pack movies, as they called them back in those days. It's got over half the Breakfast Club in this movie, so it's pretty cool. If you're a fan of the Breakfast Club, you'll probably like this movie a lot. You know, it's about seven friends. They just graduated college, and it's about them finding their place in the world and trying to make a living. Now that they're on their own, they're in the safety net of college. The safety net of college is over, and they're adults now, and they have to start acting like adults. And this movie is pretty. It's not quite a comedy. It's not quite a drama. Well, it's a drama. There are comedic aspects to it, portions, but it's definitely not a comedy. Um, each of the seven characters, they each have their own separate storylines, and then they all meet up at the bar, St. Elmo's Bar, where they drink and hula hula hula, whatever the hell the little thing that they do every time somebody gets off a good zinger. Let me light up this thing, and we'll talk a little bit more about this movie. Um, my favorite storylines in this movie were Kirby Keggers' storyline, Emilio Estevez's storyline, and Andrew McCarthy's storyline. I'm not going to say that the other storylines are bad. I'm just saying that those two are my particular favorite. Those are the ones that I identify with the most. Kirby Kegger, he's on a quest. He's obsessed with this girl that he went on a date with years ago, and he goes to great lengths to impress her and make her and win her over and all this stuff. And in the end, well, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end. And then there's Andrew McCarthy's story where all his friends think he's gay because he hasn't slept with a woman in like 2 years, which is not the case. He's actually just in love with one of his friends, and a friend that at the time, he can't have. So he just shuts himself down in that way, and he really comes out of his shell once certain things happen later on in the movie. And then you've got Demi Moore's storyline where she's worried about how she's going to bury her stepmother, or her stepmonster, as she says. And then you've got Mare Winningham's character, who is she's a virgin, and she's got her parents pushing her into getting married to someone she doesn't love, when in fact she loves Billy, the Rob Lowe character, who is he's got a kid and he's got a wife, but he's always out screwing other girls and getting drunk. He's getting into car accidents. That's the first thing that happens in this movie, is he gets into a car accident because he's drinking too much. And then you've got Judd Nelson, who is the once Democrat, now Republican, trying to stay together with Ali Sheedy, the love of Andrew McCarthy's life, and both the love of Judd Nelson's life as well. And then once things hit the fan, things hit the fan. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, and hopefully I've encouraged you to watch this. If you love the 80s and you haven't seen this, then I highly recommend it. It's totally 80s. There's a Halloween party in the middle of it. It's pretty cool. I recommend it to anybody that's a fan of any of these actors. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Saying, oh, I can't believe I went the entire video without talking about John Parr's song "Man in Motion," St. Elmo's Fire. Gonna be a man in motion, all I need is a pair of wheels. Gonna be a St. Elmo's Fire. Ooh. Anyway, that song is what inspired me to watch the movie yesterday. I heard it on my Spotify, and they were talking. It's one of those Spotify songs that has the lyrics and trivia or whatever about the song. You come to find out that the song was written for the movie, but it wasn't based on the movie. It was based on a man who lost the use of his legs, and he decided to, in his new wheelchair, he decided to wheel himself across the United States 225,000 miles or 250 or 2,500 miles or 25,000 miles. I can't remember. 25,000 miles sounds, I don't know which one sounds more ridiculous. Use your own judgment. You might, it's one of those. He was going to wheel around the entire United States in his wheelchair. So that's where the line comes from. Gonna be a man in motion. All I need is a pair of wheels. He's not talking about Demi Moore's Jeep. The man, John Parr's, talking about this man who wanted to use his wheelchair to travel across the world and inspire people. And the song is about keeping the passion alive even when life sets you back. And it's supposed to, God dang it, what's the word? Inspire. So it's supposed to inspire passion in you. And then in the movie, Rob Lowe's character explains that St. Elmo's Fire is just like an illusion that's not really there. It's just it's an allegory for all the problems in a person's life that don't really matter. It's like don't sweat the small stuff. I don't know, but it kind of goes against the entire song. And I'll just leave you this one little piece of trivia that I learned from that Spotify music track and information thing. The guy who originally wrote the song never actually even saw the movie, but he said that having Rob Lowe kind of like change the meaning of St. Elmo's Fire would have killed it for him. He would not have liked the movie, or he would have written an entirely different song. I don't know. Anyway, that is enough. I've had enough talking with you, and you've had enough talking about me. Go out, rent or watch St. Elmo's Fire. It's actually free on Amazon Prime. If you go to the IMDb channel, you got to watch things with commercials, but that's how I watched it. Even though I do own the DVD, none of my DVD players work because I smoke, and smoke gets into DVD players and ruins them. It's another little lesson from your friend Majin Metroid, and he's still doing it, ladies and gentlemen. And his machines are all there, his laptop's right here, and he's still smoking, and he's still watching St. Elmo's Fire, and he's still talking, and he needs to end this video right now.